Aether, this is a chance to really prove themselves. They're a team who have just come together in the last split. They don't have an org, and they want to prove themselves so much. Guild have already qualified for the major. They've already qualified for the championships. Of course, they can improve their seeding if they pick up the points that are available here. And oh my goodness, what's going on? Okay. You know,
that's the championship nerves. Oh my goodness, Nolly's in.
Oh my goodness, this should be a goal. Surely, no, it's off the goal line again. But Aether really having to hold on here. And, you know, the first clear there didn't look like it was going to be that difficult, but it really stayed on the goal line for a long time.
Ixo also whiffing over on the wall. Very difficult start so far from Aether, but they've not been scored on. Maybe Guild will look back at that in a few minutes' time and think, wow, that really was the chance to set the stage. These teams so much on the line, especially more historically than anything else. Guild up to this point, they've not won any regional. They've not won a grid. Yeah, they find themselves in this position to take this regional down as we get deep off the backboard. As for on the side of Aether, Johnny, you know, history chance to be made over for Tox.
Yeah, Tox trying to become the first German player to ever win an RLCS event. Not just an RLCS X event, but since the beginning of RLCS. There has never been a German winner of an event. You know, there's been grand finals from Pashi, but Nolly not ready to give Tox that W. Not yet. I mean, Tox already lost it once this season when he's played for Giants against BDS. Somehow I feel like this one's not going to be any easier, Shogun.
Absolutely not. I mean, Germany's been waiting so long for their event winner. They've come close. Been multiple grand finals. Freaky, that we just saw, has even managed to reach some European finals back in season 5.
Yeah.
But the last time we saw a German win what we'd consider to be a major event at this sort of caliber was back at the RLC Pro League. That's pre-RLCS. Gibbs played in that, made it through to top 3, scored 6 goals in one game. That's how long it's been for Germany. They'll want this so much. First, they've got to try and take this offense. Tox can't quite get under control. Ixo has a bit of a better chance. That third man did not want to come forward, and this is why he can get caught on the 2v1.
Yeah, Guild look good already, and, you know, they're the team coming in here with that extra long break. Aether just played. You know, there's a ton of debate online, which is the advantage there, and historically there doesn't seem to be one. Whether you can just come in warp or have a break and run around free play, there doesn't really seem to be much of a difference. And Guild they're the faster team at the moment. They're definitely the cleaner team. You do wonder, can Aether dig deep and come back? Yes, they can! Ixo collects a beautiful infield pass, and that's a tight get.
We have not seen much of Aether on the offense. When they got a chance, they made a clean foe. Now you can jump and hope there, buddy, but you never really stood much of a chance.
Yeah, that was great passing play. Aether are definitely not afraid of getting all 3 of their players involved in offensive plays. We've seen Team Queso have a ton of success with that strategy recently. BDS have been doing it all season. And, you know, everybody's just taking notes. These are the teams who have had success. And how much boost has still got? Not enough. Ixo's made it 2-1.
Well, that's what is affectionately known as a Guild goal to concede. Unfortunately, Johnny, I've seen a few of those over the past year or so. And despite the great start that they had, that is such an easy one just to give up. You can't be doing that at this level. We do also know that Guild of all teams are hot or cold, and it will change depending on how the series is going. Already managed to come back and defeat BDS earlier on today. Foe just over the top. So in Game 7s today in general. Quick reminder as well, both teams will have access to timeouts. So if they are feeling like the series isn't quite going the way they imagined it, get 1 timeout each. Last regional, we saw both teams, you know, really not wanting to use it. Almost became a point of pride between Queso and Sorry. Yeah, this one, the nerves will be a little bit more there.
Yeah, with, you know, coaches behind these teams who are very much a part of this. They want to really get the most out of their players. There'll definitely be timeouts used here if any team is struggling. But what a turnaround here. Guild were in full control, and then all of a sudden Aether's passing. Got an equalizer, and then a misplay from Guild as Devo whiffed a misread. Ended up putting Aether in front. And, you know, full credit to Aether. They take it. They're limited chances. Since then, Guild have started to swarm them. It's Nolly trying to get the ball into the middle. Ixo blocks it. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from Aether at the moment. not committing too far. They're communicating well in defense, but that's dropped down. Ixo almost centers it. Luckily, Tox was there to get goal side of the ball.
It's just been a couple of wobbles so far from Aether in that defense. Overall, they look okay, but one mistake has been leading to another. Very little crisis control. As for Guild, time's starting to run out. They need to start being a little bit more direct with their plays. Foe tried to set up. It wasn't the best first touch. Needed that on top of the hood of the car. Otherwise, he's very much against it when it comes to trying to find the flick. Foe back down. Double commit really delays where this offensive rotation is going, Johnny. But Guild still pushing.
Guild needing a bit more height on these centers. It's just too easy for Aether to sweep clear without having any problems. Seeing if there are threats coming their way. You know, high ball would really be a better option in a lot of these situations. Just get it over the goalie's head, get him panicking. Aether remain calm at the moment. Now that is over Tox's head, but he does well. Expertly done as he catches it on that back wall where the ball remains to this point. No time left on the clock.
Nolly with Foe up in support. Can't get it to him. Ixo delays so well. And now it's right back to the midfield for Guild. Over to Nolly. Tries to find Foe. He's only got 18 boost, and that shot will not test them. Game 1 for Aether.
That is a huge win for Aether. They started off sluggish and disorganized, struggling to clear their lines, but they've come out with a win in a match where they were very pressured at the start and end of the game. Now, when you've only got the middle of the game as yours, it's a very nerve-wracking game. You've had to make a comeback and you've had to hold on at the end. I'm sure that's not what Aether are interested in after the roller coaster of emotions that they've just been through in the semi-final.
Yeah. I really get the feeling here, Johnny, that this is not going to be one of the most mechanical series we've seen for both of these teams. Expect them to turtle up just a little bit at the start of the series, really start to find their way around this series. And then maybe we'll see, you know, players like Ixo, players like Nolly really start to step it up in the mid part. But this is not going to be at a brawling pace straight from the off. And I wouldn't, you know, as a coach, you wouldn't want either of these two teams to. You want them to settle in.
Yeah, that's what they've tried to do. Guild, they were doing the job, and they had the game going exactly the way they wanted at the start of this one. Just a couple of mistakes allowed Aether back into it. So Guild are going to be trying to just remove those mistakes from the game plan. I think that they're very capable of doing that, given their track record this weekend. Oh, look at this. Yukio's just going to pick up another freebie, and this was just another situation where it's a bit chaotic. Devo and Nolly both commit, and Ixo's 50-50 was enough to send the ball away from them.
Yeah, for Yukio, that is easy as you like. Just make sure you've got it on target. We've talked across the field about how many different players want some redemption. Yukio definitely top of that list for many different reasons. Moved on from Dignitas. A lot of people writing him off as, all right, well, that was your best chance to collect some trophies, get that prize money to your name, and Yukio right back into a regional final. Gonna go down. That's dangerous. Nobody around. And I am wondering, when is that switch going to be flipped for Guild? When are they going to start sending that second player?
Ooh, lovely fake there by Tho. He's done extremely well with not a lot of boost. In fact, no boost to play with. Now Nolly looking for the infield. Devo denied by Ixo's pre-jump save. That's better from Guild, a bit more lively, and it all started with a zero boost play from Tho. Managing to transition the ball. Just with a little bit of trickery along the way.
No boost in the midfield for Foe to take. Still hooks back around. So into the mid. Nolly blocked by Tox. Tox choosing not to stay around as Nolly wipes out one player. Midfield from Tox is so big. It actually unleashes Ixo just a little bit. Double commit. Finds just a teeny tiny little bit of health there from Devo. Minute and a half. Yet again, we have got a lead over on the side of Aether, and right now, Guild being told that, you know, you're not just going to get freebie goals here. Maybe in the first game, that was possible, but this defense is locked down.
Well, you know, if the game plan for Guild coming into game 2 was, okay, let's just not make any mistakes. We made a couple of mistakes last game, and that's how Aether scored. So let's just play solid defense and we should be fine. Well, it went wrong straight away. They double committed and they got scored on. So that game plan has to go out the window here. They need more aggression. They need to start, you know, switching it up a little bit, because Aether are fast. Aether, you know, they're not a perfect team. They still have plenty of things to iron out. Speed is not one of them, but here comes Nolly. And that is exactly the change of pace that GLD have been lacking. Fakes the shot, fakes the player, scores the goal.
Well, it's a dummy from Nolly, and he's made Ixo look like one as well. 1-1. That is what they wanted to see. He has been their talisman this weekend. I need a little bit more from him. One each. In comes Ixo. Wants to try and put some of the blushes behind him, try and get himself an opportunity. Instead, it's boomed back to his side of the field. Go back down. Jumping challenge from Ixo. Doesn't quite win it, but it pops over to Yukio. Back to Ixo one more time! That was a furious shot!
Absolutely brilliant pass from Yukio. Just really gave Ixo very little that he had to do there. He's hardly moved in the setup for this. Just waits for the ball to come to him and then dodges right through it to get that lead back. And Aether they're picking up their chances extremely well, Shogun. That wasn't an easy one to spot. Just, you know, to realize Yukio's recovered in there, just send the ball flying at him. I mean, these guys have got some faith in each other.
I think Ixo was just really mad about the last goal. Don't upset Ixo is basically what we're learning. Ball back down. Yukio off the backboard. It's not going to go in first time, but Devo's whiffed.
Wow.
And Nolly has to get there in time. Bit of luck there for GLD that Nolly wasn't quite past that point of rotation. On the far side, Devo hooks himself around. Two players move. Nolly thinks about the half rotation. Tox is just reading the game so well at the moment. Just getting these little tap-on hits. Delaying that rotation. Drop down from Devo. Just trying to boost at the last possible moment.
It's hard to find a way through Aether at the moment. Hard hits are being denied at that halfway line. GLD are going to just keep going at it, though. They're testing them over and over again. And we've seen this from GLD many times throughout the season. Now here comes Though. He manages to send the ball center. Now a bit of a team bump has actually occurred. And I don't think GLD's offense is going to last a lot longer on this play as a result, unless Nolly can do even more heavy lifting for them today. They've been over-reliant on him up until now. Though with another mind game. Flip reset, fake, and now the dunk from Though. Oh my goodness. The mind games from GLD are doing work.
It's like they just go as simple as you can for 95% of the game. Keep blasting into the other side of the field. When we get chances like this, they'll never expect it. What a play from Though.
Well, these changes of pace have really not been a part of GLD's season. They've been all about this lumping it forward.
I don't think I've ever seen Though fake a hit.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be the first to tell anyone. You casted GLD in the grid for 2 splits, and they were all about the power shots, the power clears, the, you know, fast passing plays. They tried to just win with exactly the strategy you're always talking about, so we just hit the ball hard. But now nobody's expecting these mind games, especially from Though.
Oh, Tox tries to follow, not too far away. 2 each. Game is very much open, so's the net!
Devo runs ahead, leaves it open. And he committed to this one early. He got the call, going for Ixo, and he even jumps into the net ahead of Ixo's in and out save, making it even more difficult for his countrymen to make the save. GLD looking to tie up the series. That'll save their timeout for later.
And that pop over the top. Great kickoff for GLD. That's going to waste so much time. And like it was in the first game, it is now on the other foot. No chance for Aether. They couldn't get a 0-second play going. We are tied at 1 each.
Phenomenal stuff from GLD. It's the mind games that have done it. Nolly scored with a mind game, faking an early shot, which really Ixo couldn't do much about. He had to dive in the way of it. It was a convincing fake. And then the same thing from Though. He had the flip reset, didn't even need it because the ball was bouncing so freely. And then he faked out one player and dunks in the last one. It's a straight up 1v3 play. And you have to wonder, could Aether's first challenger have just gone into the ball? That's always the question. When you get mind game multiple times, you've got to just start going at the ball, because if they go over the top of you, at least you forced a touch. At least you forced the player for a second. to lose control. You give your defense behind you, would have given Yukio in that play a much better chance at winning the race to the ball that would have ensued.
And I am looking forward to seeing what Aether have got on sort of an adjustment in between games, because Plan A has come on board for Guild. Plan A has always been, as much as we've seen of Nolly this week, Plan A has always been foe, attack, go for the ball, steal the boost, bump the player, give some space for the rest of the team. And, well, he's still around for this one. He's not going to be deterred by much of anything.
It's just so ridiculous. You say bump the player and Nolly drives into Tho. I mean, how has that happened? But yeah,
I believe we call that experience with the team, as Nolly's still trying to hunt for the goal line player.
It's Tho in go mode right now, but at some point he does have to change the pace, and he's done so already this series a few times. Those mind games, those slow dribbles, make him a lot harder to read, and it makes him a lot harder to play against. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. As for Aether, I mean, how do you counter the mind games? Well, you ball chase, you drive into the ball, you stop reading the play. Just look at where the ball is and make a fast track towards it. So it's a pretty simple counterplay. Unfortunately for them, Guild will have an equally simple counterplay, and that is stop going for mind games, because it's it is as simple as that. It's a rock paper scissors that we're about to see.
Yeah, the chess game has begun. Devo loitering around, didn't want to fully commit. Off the backboard, Nolly realizing that Ixo will cover it. It's a slow build up here, and Devo, incredibly late on the rotation, did actually give up territory. Vo's opportunity to now start moving in. Wants the reset, can't go low. Very good positioning that time from Yukio. Make sure you've got both angles covered.
He knew it. He's seen enough of those mind games from Tho especially, but from Guild overall, that he knew, okay, I've got to at least catch a piece of this ball, because going straight over the top of it and reading the play is not allowed after you've been faked as many times as they have in game 2.
Nolly leaves it. Devo has his shot blasted straight into Tox. That's a very scary moment for Aether. Nolly back to Devo. Nolly's going to try and put off the backboard to see if that mistake is around. So far, it hasn't been from Aether. Always worth testing it. Now Devo going to make sure that backboard is much more scary. Drop down, and Tox somehow gets back in time. And less saves it, more scoops it out of the net.
Yeah, brilliantly done by Tox. He was completely alone, and he's saved his team and kept this scoreless for now. And these guys, their season's not over regardless of this result. They have made it into the major, which ironically is something that the three teams that Yukio, Tox, and Ixo have left behind have not been able to do. So their season's gone on longer than all the teams who've gone on without them. Guild continue on to the championships as well. They've got it all.
Booming clear from Ixo for Tox. Couldn't quite get on the right side of that ball. I'm going to try an infield pass. Nobody around either this time. Aether still taking a defense-first approach. Want to make sure that those rotations are always in point. Don't double commit. Don't give anything up for free. Make sure you can follow just as quickly as Ixo did. Now he's managed to pop the ball up. In comes Tox. Not quite able to win that race, and now Yukio one-on-one up against Nolly. Nolly has to play this quick, and he ricochets the ball off the crossbar.
Well, that flick was definitely good enough in the power department. Unfortunately for Nolly, he has lost the 1v1 with a crossbar. Now he's got a reset, but he flips past it. Ixo wasn't interested, just goes right for the ball. And I'm liking these ball-first challenges. Are being prioritized by Aether's defense in this game. Credit to them. They've figured out what they did wrong in the last game, and they're not making the same mistakes in this one.
We'll see whether or not Guild will now start posturing themselves for a 50-50 challenge rather than trying to just go for the outplay. It'll be up to them. Pass across field, but it's only to Yukio. Wants Ixo again. That is the target. They're getting closer and closer. Just need the situation to develop for them. Devo wants the angle. Nolly has an easier one. And that is a crucial goal.
Oh my goodness. Devo with a monstrous read, and then the pre-flip to center the ball. And thank goodness Nolly had a back post approach. If he's coming in right behind Devo there, like most of your guys' ranked teammates would, he's never catching that one. But he knew better. Comes in from a better angle and scores it in the final minute. Guild on a hot streak.
And now it's time to see what Aether have got. Really up against the time here. First things first, they've got to get control of the pace of the rotation. Ixo with Tox trying to support. Can he get it over to him? It's a thunderous challenge there from Nolly. Can't quite get past that midfield line. And beyond that, they've got to actually try and get something into the net. Gil just don't want to see anything at the moment. They don't want to see their final thirds. And we'll stick that ball right there, send one player in, take the challenge, rinse and repeat for the rest of the game.
You know, despite the close scoreline, this has been by far Guild's best game. They have not made any defensive mistakes. They've given Aether absolutely nothing. And Aether have struggled to get the ball out of their half, never mind great chances. That is going to stay up, though, just barely. So they've got a chance on 0, and Ixo will surely be able to get this to the sidewall. Extremely well done by Ixo. Tox will look for the back wall. Nolly's actually out of boost, so it's going to drop down. But again, Devo pre-jumps in, but Tox keeps it alive. Should be over, surely. Though knocks it into the corner, and that will be the end of the game. Oh, well played there, Ixo. And, you know, the full Aether lineup making something out of nothing, almost equalizing. Best chance of the game when the game was already over.
I don't know what I'm more impressed by there. Ixo somehow getting there for the shot. Very rare have we ever seen the forward flip used to actually hit with the backside of the car. Or the save to somehow keep it out. That is incredible. I don't know how that is a 1-0 game.
Well, you know, for the entirety of the game, Guild just didn't really give Aether anything. I think they had mistakes in game 1.
I think that was both their 2 shots that game.
Well, yeah, I think they had one. I think Ixo had 1 shot running into that last offensive play, but, you know, I wouldn't have put it past them, being the only 2. Guild just really ironed out those defensive mistakes, and they also had the brilliancy of Devo. I mean, that pre-jump on the wall bounce was disgusting. He got up so early for that, and it didn't affect his recovery at all. He was already right back on the ball. Pre-flips to beat out the last defender. I mean, we're just perfect by Devo. And then the pre-jump save on 0 seconds as well. He's done Guild a favor in this one.
Yeah, it's time now, if you're an Aether fan, to keep an eye on that Ixo rotation. He was held downfield so much in the last game. They wanted to use him as a target, get the same sort of goal they got back in game 2.
Oh my goodness.
It's up top corner, and Tox saves what was a little bit of a calamitous display from both sides.
Yeah, thank goodness someone in this play was able to hit the ball well, and not just well, but perfectly. That is an amazing strike by Tox as it hits the crossbar and the post on the way in. But before that, we had, I think, 3 complete misses on the ball. So we've given Guild all the credit for not making any mistakes like that in the last game. Now they've made 2 in the first few seconds.
Once again, it is Aether up by a goal. We're very, very early in the game. Might even be another one if Yukio can get his own way. Both doing what his job is on this team. Does turn around. He's harassing Yukio. He's finding the set. That's what they want from him. Devo drops.
Devo.
And he almost got the same goal he got in Season 5 LAN.
Wow. I can't believe how similar that was to a Season 5 wonder
against
goal.
Envy, I think that he scored that one.
That's unreal.
I know he was on Envy. My goodness, I knew there was a team there that was reminding me.
Was it? Yeah, it's a good question. Who was that against?
He was on Envy against NRG. There you go. There's your Shogun history for today.
So
that's how I remember these things.
A beauty. I mean, if anybody wants to see what that goal would have looked like, just go check out the Season 5 highlight. Devo scored it himself. So I love that he went for the exact same setup as well. It would have been amazing to see. But the defense had it covered this time.
That is officially a Devo sort of masterclass, really. He knows how to play it. Now off the backboard, keeper is gone. Foe comes in, 2 keepers bumped.
Wow.
Nobody left.
And just a rampage from Guild. Devo takes Ixo away from the ball, and then just a little tap onto Tox before he gets flattered by Nolly. They are just leaving nothing up to chance in that play. Brutal. Absolutely brutal from Guild off the ball.
1 each. Still a reminder that both these teams have got their timeouts. Can't imagine, though, that Aether would use theirs if they lose this one.
Oh, 100%.
Tox.
I don't think Guild would, though. Guild will wait for...
Guild would wait, because they've had a lot of momentum shifts coming out of theirs. They might as well just hold it now for if Game 7 does happen. The way they're playing, might not get to that point. Off the crossbar, Devo keeps it over. You're just taking it in turns at the moment to be the hot player. Seen it from Foe, we've seen it from Nolly. This game has been Devo's.
Yeah, Devo's been on a great run this tournament. It's amazing to see the world champion from Season 3 produce these kind of results. Of course, in that Season 3, he was teammates with Turbo Pulsar.
Oh,
some of you guys might have heard of him. Oh my goodness! No!
Guild moment number 2!
Oh my goodness, it's the moment that everybody watching can relate to. We've all done that, but it's happened at the worst possible time. He was looking for the goalkeeper, not the ball.
It's part of the risk you have to accept for that play style. It looks ridiculous. There's a goalkeeper gone, and on the other side of the field, Aether have taken advantage.
Wow. Ixo managed to demo one and bump another through the smoke screen, and it left it open for Yukio. I don't believe it. I mean, it should have been 2-1. Now it is, but for the other team.
This has been brilliant. Say what you want about the gameplay we have had this weekend. I don't care. I'm fully on board with the desk. This has been my favorite European regional so far. It has been so much fun. Now off the backboard, Ixo can't find the angle. However, if you are Guild, that is not something that you will expect to happen all too often. Don't give him the space for that.
Well, are you telling me that you don't think that Guild saving their own shots could beat Space Station Gaming?
Come back
I'm sure a lot of people want to weigh in on that one.
I think that's a tweet that needs to go out, surely.
I mean, where they got to worry about Aether right now, who are set to tie the series. Tox makes it 3. And, you know, you talk about turning points in Rocket League history. That own save has to be one of the biggest ones we've seen, because since then, it's been all Aether.
Aether just seem unleashed. It's definitely partly to do with that. And it's also the other side of Aether are now willing to put more than 2 players on the halfway line. And it's been great. Because usually it's just been, we've seen Ixo downfield to receive cross-field passes. That's been nice and all, but that's not really committing. Committing is letting a player move forward. Once they lose the ball, go taking out goalkeepers and nets. We've got ourselves the other side. These corners are just gold mines for both teams to create from.
I mean, that's just, again, it's brilliant by Devo. This side flip to the left with the fast recovery because the wall is there. It just makes it so hard for the second challenge to come in time. And again, Devo has got the ball past everybody, and it's wide open for his teammate at the back post. Just fantastic stuff. Before that, you know, you got to think how much of Aether's strategy was just a copy kind of situation. I mean, we all know the scene. You're getting demoed over and over again in Rocket League, so you start going for demos yourself. I mean, that's what Guild were doing to them early in this game, and then Ixo managed to get a double on
the difference
goal
is,
there.
Johnny, is whenever you or I do it, we get annoyed at being demoed, we try and go out, and we just put ourselves out of position entirely and get scored on even more. These guys are making it work, and they're almost finding wonders. How on earth have they managed to hit the crossbar?
I'll tell you what, that drop-down pass was amazing, but the follow-up shot needed to be so precise that it's gone wide of the target. But Aether don't need that. They've just got to keep calm here. If they send 2 players at 1 ball in offense, I'll be so sad to see, because they've got that goal lead intact. And it was Guild who scored last. Yeah, Tox is not sure where Guild are on that play.
He was very much an unwilling participant. Wow! Nolly!
What's that?
I don't get this anymore, Johnny. This is just great fun.
And he saw the backboard wide open, and how early he took that as well. Just perfect read as the ball comes down. And he slams it in the top corner off his own pass. But that was a brilliant idea to go high there, because the back ball was completely wide open. And not only that, Aether didn't even have players beside the goal. They were both inside, so it's a very hard save to make.
So 3 each. And a game that looked like it was Aether's. They had the 3-1 lead. Now they desperately need this next goal. It is the difference between a tied series and triple match point for Guild. Maybe get on the 0 seconds, and Foe happy to see that one go directly at him.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy to see that being saved. If that had been a goal, it would have maybe even been more ridiculous than Foe's own save, because it was straight at him, luckily. Oh, and Devo's going for a big challenge. He's getting dunked on, but he does deflect it wide. Tox nearly had him red there. Well, to be honest, he did have him red. He just didn't have the pace, and now Ixo likewise. dunks the ball wide of the target. It's Yukio there to collect it. Look at the spread in the offense by Aether as they get on both sides of Guild, trying to box them in.
That touch, though, does mean that Foe can move on in. Was only temporary. Yukio's second touch to Togs. Wanted to go underneath Devo on the challenge. Guild finally have their third man back. And a little bit of a 2v3 happening for a while there. Togs. Has he got any options in field? Realizes he hasn't, and well, the lack of boost also makes any play very difficult. Just popped over to the side. Devo off the corner. Not really much to create over there for Guild.
And somehow this game has calmed down. At some point it's going to come to life again, and that's the move right there. But Yukio's first to the loose ball in the middle. However, Ixo's clear is really not much of a clear at all. A bit more in the pass category. McNally's got a reset, reads the bounce off the ceiling.
They have a whole corner,
but Devo's there.
They have two boosts.
They're keeping one man in reserve. They're in huge trouble here, but the communication is coming in clutch for Aether. They're not a double reset, but it's saved by Top.
The only one boost right now is this one here, Yukio. Cannot believe it. They had two across all three players, and they survived it. That is ridiculous. Yukio still making himself seen. We have an awkward bounce, and it's open! Foe has put Guild on triple match point.
Well, Tox is looking for a demo, Yukio's playing for the boost steal, and Ixo's not at home. At one moment, the entire Aether lineup have vacated the defensive wall that they built and were maintaining just moments ago. They were doing so well, like you said, with no boost, and then you give them the boost, they got too excited, I think. They were like, finally, we can accelerate. Right, let's all drive away from the goal. They get immediately scored on. And as expected, Shogun, we do get that timeout from Aether. This is a chance for them to make something happen here.
All right, Snasky, what you got?
Well, right now he's just rubbing his chin and thinking, so it doesn't look like they've got a lot.
No, that's where you gotta be most scared. I've seen Snasky, the evil mastermind that he can be back in his heyday. I think Snasky's got something for them here, and if he hasn't, what's he been planning for?
Ixo's nodding.
Yeah, that's what you want, though. You want Ixo leading this one. I understand Tox and Yukio, they've got their parts. Obviously, Tox, a couple of weird plays that we have seen. Yukio's going to see the majority of this ball. So if you can get him on board with the plan, absolutely.
I think it was good to see there as well. Tox is weighing in. I think the players are giving their, own perspectives on this, because it definitely looks like the synergy's dropped off since the semi-final. Aether struggling to get on the same page defensively, and they'll really need to get on the same page here, because what we're seeing from Guild is good enough. I think it's, it's not the best. I mean, Tho literally saved one of his teammates' shots that game, so it's hard to give them too much praise on that one. But, they've done the job. That's 3 straight wins for them. And, if you look at their record this whole weekend, they've beaten BDS twice. They've, beaten everybody they come up against, apart from Giants, who are no longer in this competition. So they've had the best track record. They were the favorites coming into this, and they're making us look smart, Shogun, for our ridiculous predictions on the pre-show.
Oh, we'll get into that later on, mate. Absolutely, but that's if Guild can keep this up. And right now, Guild have got to sort of sit through what is a game that they just want to get to immediately. They want to see Wasteland. They want to get themselves into this game and give themselves that chance for a regional victory. As for Aether, here's the setting right now. They've got to find something that works. I think this open gameplay style has been a little bit chaotic from both sides, so it can go their way. But not if they've got to win the next 2, they will very likely then have to sit and stew for 2 and a bit minutes before heading into the biggest game of their careers.
Yeah, like we said before, it's not the last time we'll see them. Not the last time we'll see either of these teams this season, as Aether have qualified for the final EU major of the year, even though they'll miss the championships. It's just such a crazy thing to me that Giants, Tox former team, Galaxy Racer, Ixo's former team, and Dignitas, Yukio's former team, none of them have, none of them have made it there, and that's exactly where Aether are headed. So they've outlasted them. They've got chances to prove themselves, but this is their current chance to prove themselves to any orgs that might be on the hunt for a Rocket League team.
Oh, Nolly took it away from the incoming player for his corner. I'll claim he just didn't want the triple coming out on the other side of the field. Went for the ones play. Still, we'll see what Snasky has devised for this game. More bumps. Seems to be very much in tone of what we've already seen, but hey, it was working for him. So keep that going. Ixo can follow. Devo realizes it. Ended up just staying away from the challenge for a long time. That opens up Tox. And Devo manages 2 players by himself pretty neatly as Nolly tries to find a way past.
It's all about that communication for Aether. They're doing well right now, but Gilder is so consistent right now. They are just so constant. As soon as that miss comes through, Gilder there. 1-0 already. And that was off Yukio's miss. It's a tough one to go for, but he needed to make contact. He's fully committed to the play, and he's missed it.
Proving that it is always worth just keep going back to that. In game 2, looked like Aether had it sorted. As this series goes through, those nerves will start to rack up, and the mistakes that you wouldn't expect to see from them will start to show a little bit more. So 3.5 minutes away, potentially from Gil from a regional championship, but it might come down to this bit of offense. Foe turns, didn't even expect him on the rotation. Him and Nolly trying to vie for who gets the chance, and Foe outmuscles his teammate and outshoots the opponents.
What a play by Foe. That was a blind pop over one challenge, and then a perfect catch into a perfect top corner flick. Just brilliant play. Finding the space was hard enough, but then executing on the play, difficult as well, as we've seen with many crossbar flicks recently. Though stepping up exactly when it matters, and this could be Guild's win right here. Though into the bar, Devo thinking about moving in on it, but just
Aether all over the place.
Aether just can't read each other. No, Devo off the post. And when Aether can't read each other and Guild can read them, I think that might be a recipe for disaster.
Oh, not a great clear either. Yukio off that backboard. Very difficult shot for Ixo. He needs the 3rd man. But that player is not on the field anymore. Off the demo. Running out of time, and Ixo in the perfect spot. Not that sure he knew too much about it, but they'll be very happy to not see that trickle into their net.
Yeah, it's a very difficult thing to play against right now. Guild are so structured. They're so much more organized than Aether. You know, it's in a game where full rotation is established. You've got to take the team who have got the experience playing together. They, you know, for Aether, they have to turn this into some kind of team queso sort of series where it's impossible for anybody to read what's happening, and then the mechanics can decide who wins. But at the moment, it's too organized. Guild are just in the full flow, and time is ticking away. It's hard to see another chance for Aether in this one unless Guild give it to them.
Here's Foe to make it free off the backboard. Yukio not going to make a mistake this time. Tox out to Yukio. 2 players heading for it. Tox going to have to do well here. You can already tell that Guild know that the space they've got. And even the fact that Guild didn't create something of that is not necessarily the main story there. It's the fact that this is a good 15 seconds wasted away. And that'll be before Aether even get a chance to control this ball again.
Yeah, I think we've got to just, you know, continue to sing Guild's praises for adding that to their game. They've played a whole season hitting the ball as hard as they can. Now today they're keeping control when it makes sense to do so, and they look a lot harder to play against. They look like they're starving Aether of opportunities, and it is going to be Guild at this rate who climb out of the pile of teams who have struggled this regional. You know, a lot of people think it's been a tough regional playing for a lot of these top teams who have not made it far at all. But Guild have found motivation, and they have actually improved while all their rivals have seemingly declined.
They have spotted an opportunity, and they have taken it thus far. 50 seconds. Foe will chase. Tox can't get to it. Stiff teeth off the backboard. Another double commit. Aether just can't get on the same page.
Wow.
And Nolly moves in to potentially secure the regional.
Too good as double commits come in left, right, and center for Aether. Guild are as organized as ever. And, you know, Aether just don't know what to do. They have got nothing against this. And despite starting strong in this series, off a couple of Guild mistakes, in the absence of those Guild mistakes, Aether have looked second best. And it looks almost impossible here. Just over 30 seconds left. And they've only created 2 shots this whole game up until now.
Start of game 1 where both teams were trying to find their feet. Guild have looked like the stronger of the two. Nolly back down once again, and for a team that has had so many ups and downs this season, have been forced to trust the process, to take losses. Nolly wanted to add the exclamation mark. Devo sets it up. Foe won't quite be there, showing some patience. But the process has worked. GLD Esports are regional champions, and they finally, after being so disciplined, let themselves know about it.
A professional performance from Guild. The organization will be proud of their lads who have stepped it up massively. They've seen an opportunity here. Teams who are going to be their direct competition in the major and then in the championships at the end of the RLCS season have hit a bit of a road bump, and Guild have just accelerated. They are the team who have taken, you know, the weakness that other teams are displaying and just absorbed all of it. You know, they've taken all of the absence of energy from these teams as their own, and, you know, full credit to them. A deserved win here, and somehow giving us a perfect bracket as well, Shogun, to just make it
oh,
ever the more
I didn't want to
perfect.
mention it, Johnny. By all means, it would be wrong of us to mention that during the pre-show, all four of us came together to get 7 out of 7 correct, even predicting BDS to lose in the semi-finals.
Okay, so defending champions.
Who would
Thank you,
we
Stumpy.
be to say that? Absolutely, thank you, Stumpy. You know, but we'll celebrate in our own time. The fact of the matter is, Guild are the team that need to be celebrated here.
Amazing.
They have shown us foundational Rocket League still has a place at this level, and they have managed to take themselves a regional championship. To break it all down is Leaf and the Desk.